Phytocannabinoids are the naturally occurring cannabinoids found in plants. Phyto, meaning plant, are primarily found within the cannabis genus. These compounds, such as THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, and CBD, cannabidiol, are known for their diverse pharmacological effects and their interaction with the body's endocannabinoid system. There are 7 primary types of THC. Most of these variants are isomers, meaning the compounds have the same number of atoms but differ in their arrangement. Delta-9 THC is the most abundant compound found in the cannabis plant. Delta-8 THC, when the Cannabis sativa plant ages, the delta-9 THC oxidizes into delta-8 THC, which is a very slow process. Delta-10 THC isn't commonly found in nature. Because of this, it's manufactured in a laboratory for industrial and commercial purposes. THCA is a non-psychotropic cannabinoid found in the raw cannabis plant. THCV, a compound derived from cannabis, possesses distinct qualities that differentiate it from other cannabinoids. It does not have psychotropic effects. THCP is a less well-known cannabinoid, and there is limited scientific research available about its properties. THCO acetate is not found in natural cannabis products but rather developed synthetically. Products available on the market that contain high concentrations of cannabinoids other than THCA and delta-9 THC have likely been synthesized in a laboratory, typically by converting hemp-derived CBD using chemical solvents and acids. These minor cannabinoids and their place in national markets are complicated, so we have decided to address them in a future video. It has been our intention to provide you, the consumer, the information you need to make the best decisions for yourself on whether or not cannabis is right for you. Like all of our videos, we do not fill them with sunshine and butterflies and ignore the information that doesn't fit into that view. While cannabis is generally deemed to be a safe and effective alternative to traditional medicine, it doesn't come without potential side effects. Today we are exploring THC, the good and the bad, and what you need to know about how it works. As the cannabis plant matures, enzymes convert CBGA into other cannabinoids like THCA. THCA, tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, is a raw cannabinoid, meaning that it has no psychoactive effect. Under federal law, the 2018 Farm Bill, THCA derived from hemp is generally legal in the United States as long as the delta-9 THC content remains below 0.3% by dry weight. However, the ability to legally purchase cannabis and/or hemp products is determined on a state-by-state basis. As of the date of this filming, recreational cannabis is legal in 24 states and medical cannabis is legal in 40 states, and the rules and regulations are different in every state. While, today, THCA fits into a legal gray area with the federal government, some states may also consider the potential for THCA to convert to THC when determining legality. We'd love to know the legal status of who is watching our videos. Leave us a comment and let us know if cannabis is legal where you are. Those of us in legal medical and recreational states, THCA is easily found in any dispensary in flower, resins, rosins, and other concentrates. There are a number of potential medicinal uses for THCA, including anti-inflammatory properties. THCA may help reduce inflammation in the body. Neuroprotective effects. Studies suggest it may help protect brain cells from damage. Antiemetic qualities. THCA may help alleviate nausea and vomiting, potentially beneficial for individuals undergoing chemotherapy or experiencing nausea from other medical conditions. Antioxidant activity. It may act as an antioxidant, combating damage from free radicals. The trick is that it must be used in its raw form, meaning in their natural state, including buds, shake, trim, and keef, to take advantage of those properties with no psychoactive effect. Which is not always the most appealing way to consume cannabis. Decarboxylation, adding or using heat, to THCA removes the carbon dioxide atom from organic acids, changing it into delta-9 THC. Among all types of THC, delta-9 is the most well-known and abundant form of THC found in cannabis plants. Due to its abundance, it is widely studied for its psychoactive effects as well as medicinal potential. It's responsible for the classic high associated with marijuana use, producing effects such as euphoria, relaxation, altered perception, and increased appetite. Medicinally, delta-9 THC is used for pain relief, nausea reduction, and appetite stimulation, particularly in cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. THC is a colorless, oily substance that is extracted from the flowers and leaves of the cannabis plant. It is typically consumed by smoking, vaping, or ingesting it in edibles. It is important to note that the potency of THC varies significantly depending on the strain of cannabis. Additionally, the effects of THC can be influenced by factors such as the dose, method of consumption, and individual tolerance as well as terpene profiles and flavonoids. This is known as the entourage effect, as each component works together to create an effect that is greater than each would be individually. We highly recommend that you explore our Cannabis Terpene series and video on the entourage effect, to further understand how cannabinoids like THC, terpenes, and flavonoids work together. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved synthetic formulations of delta-9 THC, specifically dronabinol and Nabil-1, for the treatment of chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting. These drugs have been shown to be effective in managing severe nausea and vomiting in cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy, particularly when standard other therapies haven't been successful. Appetite stimulation in AIDS patients, dronabinol is also approved to stimulate appetite. Beyond the FDA-approved uses, research suggests that THC may have therapeutic potential for a variety of other conditions, including chronic pain. It may help alleviate various types of chronic pain, including neuropathic pain and pain associated with conditions like arthritis, fibromyalgia, and multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis, MS studies indicate that THC can help reduce muscle stiffness and pain in MS patients, potentially slowing disease progression. Sleep disorders. It has been shown to improve sleep quality in individuals with conditions like insomnia and sleep apnea. Mental health. While high doses can exacerbate anxiety, low doses of THC may help reduce anxiety and improve mood. Neurodegenerative diseases. It shows promise in potentially offering neuroprotective benefits for conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. Glaucoma. THC may help reduce intraocular pressure, potentially slowing the progression of the disease. Post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD research suggests that THC can help alleviate symptoms of PTSD. Epilepsy and seizure disorders. Some studies suggest that THC, particularly when used in combination with CBD, can help reduce the frequency and severity of seizures. Cannabis tolerance refers to the reduced effectiveness of cannabis over time with repeated use. Basically, how often you use and how you consume determines how fast your tolerance will build up. This occurs because the body's endocannabinoid system adapts to the presence of cannabinoids like THC, leading to decreased sensitivity and requiring higher doses to achieve the same effects. Genetics may also influence how quickly someone develops tolerance. Some individuals may be naturally more tolerant to cannabis due to variations in their endocannabinoid system. If you are finding that you need to use more cannabis to achieve the desired effect, are experiencing a shorter duration of effects, reduced intensity of effects, or maybe you need to use higher potency products, it could mean that you have developed a tolerance. The good news is it isn't permanent. Tolerance breaks. Abstaining from cannabis use for a period of time can allow the body's endocannabinoid system to reset, potentially restoring sensitivity to THC. A 21-day break is often recommended for heavy users. Strain rotation. Using different strains of cannabis with varying cannabinoid and terpene profiles can help prevent tolerance. Lifestyle factors. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, including regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and a balanced diet, can also support overall well-being and potentially improve the body's response to cannabis. Consulting professionals. Seeking guidance from healthcare providers or cannabis professionals can help individuals develop a personalized approach to managing THC tolerance. Whether you are new or experienced in the world of cannabis, we've all had the experience of accidentally having just a little too much. First, don't panic. If you have consumed 100% pure THC, studies indicate that a lethal dose would involve consuming an amount so large, it's practically impossible to achieve through typical consumption methods, as a fatal dose of marijuana would require ingestion of 1,500 pounds in 15 minutes. Overconsumption often occurs before any tolerance has been built up, using products with a higher concentration than you are used to, and most commonly when consuming edibles, as edibles can take up to 2 hours to kick in, or you simply just didn't know how strong they were. The unpleasant reaction you may experience includes extreme anxiety or paranoia, nausea and vomiting, increased heart rate and blood pressure, and in rare cases hallucinations. Should you find yourself in this situation, you have a few options when you discover that maybe that last gummy was one too many. 1. Drink a glass of lemonade or orange juice. 2. Chew on a couple peppercorns. 3. Counter it with some CBD. 4. Crawl into bed and sleep it off. Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, CHS, is a condition that leads to repeated and severe bouts of nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pains. It still isn't clear why some heavy marijuana users get the syndrome, but others don't, as generally symptoms of CHS usually appear after 10 to 12 years of heavy use. What we do know about it is that we don't know much about it. This syndrome has only recently become recognized and is being studied. You may have CHS if all the following are true for you. You've regularly used marijuana over many years. You have belly pain. You have severe, repeated nausea and frequent vomiting. You feel better after taking a hot shower. There is no test that confirms this diagnosis. However, feeling better after taking a hot shower seems to be a common symptom reliever for this syndrome. It's important to always be honest with your healthcare providers about the length of time and the amount of marijuana you use, and it appears that the only cure for this syndrome is to cease the use of cannabis entirely. I'm on vacation and want to enjoy some cannabis. Will I test positive on a drug test? Maybe. There are a number of factors that contribute to whether or not you will test positive on a drug test. Frequency of use. Regular users will have THC detectable for a longer period compared to occasional users. If you use occasionally, it may take about 3 to 7 days for THC to be completely eliminated. If you are a regular user, it may need up to 30 days or longer to clear THC from the system. If you are a heavy user and long-term use, it takes up to 90 days for the body to be fully clear of THC. Body metabolism. Individual metabolic rates affect how quickly the body processes and eliminates substances. Body fat. THC is stored in fat cells, and individuals with more body fat may retain THC for longer periods. Method of consumption. The way marijuana is consumed can also affect detection times. The higher the concentration of THC means higher concentrations are being stored in the body. Type of drug test. Different tests have different detection windows. Urine tests, up to 30 days, or potentially longer for frequent users. Hair tests, up to 90 days. Blood tests, about 12 hours after last use, but possibly up to 25 days for chronic users. Saliva tests, 24 to 48 hours after last use. I use topicals to treat pain. Will I test positive on a drug test? No, topicals do not enter the bloodstream and therefore, will not cause a positive drug test for THC. What kind of THC do you sell? Different states have different rules, and we are frequently asked this question by our out-of-town guests. As a licensed retail cannabis store in Washington state, all of our products are going to have some Delta-9 THC in them. Potency testing in Washington state requires that THCA, Delta-9 THC, CBDA, and CBD amounts are listed on the label. This is confusing for some as the labels read THCA and THC, simply because that is how our state decided to do it. For more information on how our labels work, see our video, WTF Washington. These labels don't make sense. What is the difference between THCA and THC? When we are talking about flower and concentrates, the THCA percentage is frequently higher than the THC number. THCA is a raw cannabinoid that does not have psychoactive effects, meaning it does not get you high. When THCA is cooked, as in heated, it becomes THC, the cannabinoid responsible for the classic high. Sometimes flower or concentrates have a higher THC content than THCA. These products go through another transformation when they are heated to become CBN, which is also psychoactive like THC and is associated with sedative effects, potentially making it useful for sleep aid and relaxation. As edibles have already been decarboxylated, heated, there will be no THCA to convert. Which is why eating a cannabis flower bud is unlikely to get you high, but eating a gummy will. Thank you for joining us. If you're still with us and willing to go deeper into the weeds of cannabinoids, as we continue to explore the most common cannabinoids found in today's cannabis market, hit that like and subscribe button, and say hi in the comments. Until next time. Peace.